Hey, this is Dante Starshine here, and in this video I want to talk about some big picture things, the crisis is happening on the world today, and what the future of the earth can look like when we tune into higher frequencies of love. So this comes from a lot of the teachings that I've channeled from the Pleiadians, and teachings that I've received from listening to many other channels, especially Bashar. And the message I get from them now is to share my own perspective, how this kind of comes together within me, rather than channeling their perspective today. So what is the future of Earth looking like? The most important thing is that we return to an awareness that we are one with nature, and we've never been separate from nature. So all of the stuff that's surfacing now about climate change crisis is super important, and it needs our attention. It is asking us to connect deeper with the earth, and to pray with the earth, and to hold the earth. Now, we don't want to slip into fear, and that's something I'm going to talk about later, though right now I just want to continue with what does the future earth look like. We are returning to oneness with nature, and we are feeling that nature nourishes us, and that nature is not ours to simply rob, because the well-being of the planet and the well-being of the plants and the animals is our own well-being. Now, other parts of the future earth include a world without borders, and then a world without money. The world without borders comes before a world without money, because we cannot get rid of money until we create equality and until we create a unified planet. So any leader who is bringing us closer in this direction, in this very kind of intense direction, from where we see politics now and where we see how the governments and how people in power are acting, this proposal that really comes from the channeled predictions from extraterrestrials and higher beings and angels, so on and so forth, is extreme. And it's really important that we fully honor how big that gap is from where we need to be going and where we're at. Not with fear, but with love. So how do we get there? Again, sharing that message, transmitting that message, and doing everything we can to live in accordance with nature and with that world of unification. So we can't really bypass the way that we live now with the money system and with so many systems of oppression in place, but we can work to bring awareness into it and end the division. So it's really important, and I'm almost in a state of disbelief when I am starting to see a lot of people who claim to be spiritual and following this path, and listening to teachers in the New Age field who are holding on to these really conspiracy theories and all of this fear-based stuff, and thinking that there's something important there, because it's really just heavy, dark stuff. So a lot of people who have these conspiracy ideas are influenced by this idea of the Illuminati and the information spread about the Illuminati. Now, the thing that you must know about this is that the Illuminati is real. It's a secret society that's been around for hundreds and if not thousands of years. I've researched into this a little bit, and it's impossible not to get exposed to this information to some extent. However, when you start to really go into this rabbit hole, what you discover is that a lot of the information out there about the Illuminati is produced by the Illuminati. And so it kind of, it messes with the rational mind. Why would the Illuminati reveal information about themselves? It is because the Illuminati gains its power through fear. Now, whether or not you are aware of this fear that is generated within you through watching this material, or whether you simply act it out unconsciously, Simply the feeling, the vibrational state itself, feeds them energy. And then it ripples out into actions that people take motivated by fear that give even more energy into the Illuminati. When it comes to any information out there, whether it's from a channel, whether it is from science, whether it is from a religion or spiritual teacher, what is most important is, does that information bring you to feel a greater degree of love, or does it bring you to feel fear? So you are a powerful creator, and any information that makes you feel less powerful or makes you feel like someone outside of you can exert their power over you is information that is breeding fear. Now, I almost don't even know what more to say about this other than the fact that we need to learn how to read information with our own intuition, with the barometer of our own heart, and beyond what is true and what is not true, because really all of it is true. Everything is true. This is a post-truth universe at this point. We're awakening to the point that we're seeing that from its perspective, every belief, every idea is a truth. It's not about that. It's about, how does that feel in your heart when you believe it? How does that feel inside of you when you tap into that? Does it bring you to feel fear, or does it bring you to feel love? Now, this leads into the other tricky thing about activism, because we all really want to be activists. Action is the language of physical reality. However, the most conventional form of activism can often be based in fear rather than love. And a lot of the people who I've seen posting on social media about things like the fires around the world have been in a state of fear, not a state of love. The truth is that, okay, this may sound crazy, regardless of what happens, everything's going to be okay. Even if we don't save the planet, and if we destroy the planet, everything is going to be okay. What you're seeing right now is an illusion. This physical reality is an illusion that your soul, spirit, has brought yourself into. And when you go beyond the veil of death, everything will be okay, regardless of what you've done here. That may be shocking. What, everything will be okay? Everyone goes to heaven? Some people don't like that. Some people are really attached to their ideas of punishment or karma. And it's just not a higher truth once you get beyond the physical incarnation. So even if we destroy this earth plane, there will be another earth plane. This is a multidimensional reality where there's so many different planes of earth. And that kind of beyondness is what we all need to be tapped into when we step into activism. We have to have a true non-attachment to the results of our action. We have to feel and believe that regardless of what happens, the point of what we're doing is expanding love. And if we simply expand the love vibration, we are being successful. So I'm saying this because I see a lot of activism that's motivated by fear. I'm seeing a lot of activism that's very attached to the results of the outcome. I'm seeing, even the fear is kind of built into the message that it's already too late. And the truth is, it is already too late for a lot of things that we would have wanted to prevent. First of all, it is too late to prevent the melting of the ice caps. At this point, they're pretty much gone. And a lot of channels, including Bashar, talk about our Earth's future without ice caps. This is going to mean some big environmental changes, waters rising and more natural phenomena happening, so we need to be prepared to help others around the world when those things do happen, and I don't know what the timeline on that is. I haven't received that message, at least for this transmission. And knowing that and surrendering to that brings a certain degree of acceptance. Knowing that here and now we're all living our lives regardless helps us come into a degree of acceptance of what's happening. Because when we fight against the outer circumstances in a resistant state, we make the negativity bigger. We have to be accepting of it and not pushing back so powerfully. We want to be tuned into this vision we have of a world where we're all back in our connection with nature and fully feeling oneness with the earth and bringing equality to the people and living that day by day, and knowing that the love that we bring into that is our greatest sign that things are changing, because we are feeling the change within our hearts. Love is also the message we want to communicate, because when people are sucked into these fear-based energies or into these conservative viewpoints, into denying climate change or denying the problems with capitalism or any of these systems, we cannot convince them at the level of the mind to change their mind. We have to go to the level of the heart and plant the seeds of love. We have to show them that our belief and our experience of reality is a lighter one, one that feels good to us, one that brings us to feel more connected, and just lightly nudge that in their direction. Because there's just so many times when there's a fight between this side and the other side. And from a very liberal perspective, as many people would call it, I don't like any of the labels associated with politics, because my belief is in a return to nature, a dissolving of borders, and a dissolving of money. There's not a word for that yet, and I haven't made one myself because I'm not an ismist or an is whatever. But when we create the fight between us versus them, and we try to get people out of their mental tizzy with our mind, we create more conflict and we further that separation. You're being counterproductive when you fight with the conservatives and the fearmongers and all of that. You have to love them. And this is the biggest challenge for a lot of us light workers, is how do we hold a space of love for them? It is not saying I agree with you. It is not saying we can agree to disagree. It is not saying it's okay that you think that. And saying I love you, what you're doing is creating more fear in the world. It's creating further separation. It's separating you from your own heart. I see that it causes a lot of pain for you. I see that you're in a lot of pain and fear. And I love you, and I hope you get better, because that's causing pain. It's not you're wrong, you're evil, you're bad, I hate you, go away, you're the problem in the world. Those sorts of sentiments and those ideas, which I see a lot of people saying, are only going to create more fear, more conflict, more strife, more problems. And we want to really embrace everyone. If all is one, even the fearmongers, even the Illuminati, even the evil people, evil is a concept, it's not a reality, all of them are one with us in here. We need to feel that and believe that, to show them the truth of oneness. Capitalism, communism, all of these isms that we've designed to try to better ourselves are an outgrowth of very old patterns that have been alive in our genetics for a while. And the first instance of this was property ownership. The first time we began to say, this is mine and that is yours, this is my wife and my family and that is yours over there. This was the first separation between man and nature, and the masculine and the feminine. And this is not the way that animals live their lives. So it was the step towards an evolution, and it was not an innately bad thing. Yet all of this consciousness directed towards separation, while it is a natural part of evolution, is one that we must evolve beyond again. So our evolution now is bringing us to break these very old ancient patterns of separation and ownership and come into the idea of stewardship, where we are all one and we are all each other's stewards. We are the earth stewards. We are owning each other in a healthy way, in that we are not possessing each other, as this is mine, you're mine. We are saying your best interest is my best interest, because I see that I am you and you are me. This is a big shift, and we are taking it step by step, and we are coming to be aware of all of our patterns of jealousy and fear that have brought us to divide ourselves. So again, the system of money itself is this expression of great separation. And I'll have to pause again here. So I'm saying, yes, money is a form of separation. It furthers the separation between people, and we can feel this in many of our interactions with money. So it's taken me a really long time to develop a healthy relationship with money, and I had to go back and forth between so many different belief systems until I could find a settled space. And it's still an evolving experience and an evolving belief, though while seeing that money divides people and is something that we need to transcend, we are not in our future in this physical moment in the illusion of time-space reality. We are in 2019, and in 2019 we need money to live. So we still have to honor that reality. While we may not like it, we have to see it as this exchange of support and loving energy, seeing that the money itself is just a symbol of food, of energy, of housing, of the things that we need to survive. And when we can stop looking at it as the division system that it really is, and see it as supporting us and changing the system, we can have that healthier relationship with it. Though it takes time, and it takes a lot of deconditioning and a lot of just, it's a process. I'll just say that. It's a process. So the overall message here is that we are responsible. We are the earth stewards, and we are each other's stewards. And the changes happening on the earth are nothing happening to us. Now I'm going to get metaphysical. So the timelines are shifting. There is no one fixed future, and anyone who looks into the future, which we're all kind of equipped to do. Some of us are more psychic than others through our inclination, but we can all develop those gifts. So looking into the future, you can see many different possibilities, and every one of them is real. So it's our actions and our love-based energy that directs us towards this love-based future where we are one unified planet. And if we allow the programs of fear that are coming to us from propaganda, from conspiracy theories, or from simply our own fear of the intensity of our own planet, if we let that fear stop us from living in love, we're going to be creating a reality where the negative things do happen. And even some channels have said that it is always possible for us to shift into that negative timeline if we lose track of our focus on love. So we cannot ever say that it's all great, it's all already happened, it's all perfect already. Because while we may experience the bliss of our connection with the love-based energy, we still have to do that love-empowered action every single step of the journey, every single day. And I saw a lot of people who, when all the Amazon fires and things were started to come up on social media, just like, we're going to pray for the earth every day. All we're going to do is sit and pray. And what I say to that is, it's like, it's not that simple. You have to take action. And it almost, like, that kind of made me angry and brought me into fear, because what I saw in that moment, or what I believed, was that all these people are thinking that just sitting around and praying is enough. And that was frustrating to me, because like, we can't sit in a cave and just visualize a beautiful earth all day. We have to go out and spread that message and spread that truth. So maybe I was kind of distorted at that time when I was saying, like, you know, don't believe that your prayer is that powerful. Really it is. Really our visualization has the power to change the world around us, and many of us who practice these tools of manifestation see how, when we find a tool that resonates with us and we implement it and we visualize the outcome we want and we let go of attachment to the expectation, it happens. And the same will happen with the earth, though we have to also take the actions. We also have to spread the love. And it doesn't mean you have to go out and become an environmental advocate. It just means that you have to be the representative of love that is most loving for yourself. The way to spread love that will feel for you, the best will be the one that opens your heart the most. We all have unique gifts. Some of us, it's a physical power. Some of us, it's an artistic power. Some of it's an expressive power. It's all unique, and we have to honor what makes us unique to let that motivate how we go out there and bring the change into the world. And it's raining a lot right now, so it just makes me think, part of the process that's natural is mourning for the things that are happening out there, though don't let the mourning bring you into a depressive, dark place that you can't get out of. We need community, and part of the future Earth is uniting with community in a loving way. So finding your tribe and working together in the ways that support you and support others is a key part of the process as well. And ultimately, it really is about unity. The unity consciousness is what is going to help us unify with each other on this planet, and that will help us unify with our star family up there. So, just speaking again for a second about this conspiracy theory thing, because what I proposed about one unifying world government is often what the conspiracy theory people are fearing the most. They are programming into people's minds that unification is the worst possible thing that could happen, when really it is the best possible thing that could happen. And that is why I say the conspiracy theories are designed by the people that are in the conspiracies. When you really start to understand spiritual concepts and metaphysics, it will blow your mind that you might think that unifying governments and unifying people could be in any way a bad thing. It's just absolute absurdity, and it boggles my mind so much that I'm having a hard time translating it right now. But the ultimate truth is one of love and unity, and we need to go beyond our differences, honoring our differences, and also honoring the intrinsic unity that will bring about this loving, peaceful planet. And if we don't take the actions in that direction, there may not be extraterrestrial open contact, because the extraterrestrials cannot come to a planet that is in war with itself. We need to end the war within ourselves and with each other, because all of that is motivated by these old fear-based patterns. Now, the fear-based patterns were part of our survival, part of how biological creatures at a certain point of evolution perpetuate their existence is through their fear. And then we get to a point where humans are at, where we have to transcend our fear and move into love, else we become a fear-based evolutionary form that will only further its pain and separation. And there are extraterrestrial groups like that out there. However, we have been seeded by love-based extraterrestrial groups at points in our evolution. That is part of how we have gotten to here and where we're at. So we need to enter into that love-based energy. And you may find that, whether you're already open to channeling in this or not, at a point, some of the ideas and the energies of channeling kind of freaked you out, or some of those deepest spiritual experiences brought about that deep fear in you. And it's like this with energy, that the higher vibrations bring this old heavy energy to the surface so we can process it. And we only get enough higher energy as the heavy fear that we are willing to face. So that is why our shadow work is so important, and our willingness to examine our old heavy energies is crucial and key in this process of empowering ourselves and unifying ourselves. So I think that really wraps it up. The ultimate truth is there is no ultimate truth, but the message here is that love is most important, and that regardless of what happens, it's all going to be okay for you as the soul and for all of the souls here, that this is just one part of the infinite web of creation, and if we fuck this one up, it's going to be alright somewhere else. So don't be attached to what is happening, don't get lost in what is happening, but do something about what is happening, because nothing will change unless you do something. And what you do must be motivated by love, not fear, because even if you do something with the best of intentions, with the best of vision, with the best forethought, with all of the evidence and all of the information in its right place, and you do it with fear, you're bringing more fear into the world. So every time you attack a Trump supporter, every time you attack a climate change denier, you're furthering the gap between you and that person, and we need to unify ourselves with the other and see that intrinsically we are the same energy, we are the same being, and allow ourselves to dive into love together with them. And this will be a challenge for a lot of people I know, and a lot of people who watch this video, though ultimately this is the greatest remedy. It is to love every other and love everything that could ever happen and might ever happen and would ever happen. Though keep in your highest focus in your heart that image of our future planet where the green is restored, where the extraterrestrial life has landed, where all humans here have been unified and we have seen past our differences. The more you hold that in your heart and let that motivate your actions and motivate how you perceive the world and how you see others, the more that you will be in resonance with creating that future and bringing about that future in your world. So thank you for watching this, and please share this video because I think this is an important one for a lot of people to see right now. And this has been one that has come with a lot of contemplation of all of the intense energies moving right now. And really, I feel super compelled to be of greater service to others in so many ways in these times. It's like after a lot of like intense transformation, it's like we really need to be out there spreading these messages. And if you listen to Bashar, one channeling I would really recommend that falls in alignment with some of the things I've been saying here has come out around the last solstice, June 21st, and it was called The Shifting Window of Contact, explaining just what I was talking about, is if we don't align with these love-based energies, we might not even experience extraterrestrial contact, so we have to be that change. And this will help a lot of people tune into that energy a lot more. And the biggest message that Bashar was bringing forth, because when I first heard it, it even freaked me out a little bit. It was like, what? Like, it might not happen? And it brought me into a state of more inspired love-based action. The message really is that we have to vote, and voting can mean voting in your government elections, though voting is also voting for the reality you want to see in the world. It's about standing for what you are in favor of and speaking it with power and love. So vote for what you want to see in the world, be the change you want to see in the world, and let your voice shine forward. Let your voice carry that expression of love. When you see things that you don't like, don't fight it, love it, and express what you would prefer. Let love carry your voice through in the world. And this is such an important time for everyone to be fully empowered and expressive in their truth. So thank you for watching this. I love you very much. My website is blissbeings.com. On my YouTube channel, youtube.com/blissbeings. There's many channelings from the Pleiadian Council that you can tune into and enjoy. I'm here to support people on their journey. I do private sessions, and I'm working on more long-term packages in different ways to really go deep with people. If you're in Portland, Oregon, I do cacao ceremonies there on a weekly basis, and I hope you come and enjoy the heart-opening magic. I love you, I bless you, I thank you. Have the best day ever.